EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Anthony Schwartz going to bring it out. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. First play from scrimmage. Watson going to throw it. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That'll give him 8 that time. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And some room to roam now. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he returns this to the 22. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Hey, come on. Hey, middle.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That's good for 28 yards. A man who missed all of 2021, this is J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
No, we changed it. Hey, report. Hey. Go.
Here's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. The Ravens sitting at a very solid 4-2 record through the first 6 weeks. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And the Browns are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Browns drive about to get started. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. They'll send the tight end in motion. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's got some space here. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 91 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. But Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
Watson to Njoku there for the Cleveland first.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Powering forward. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a first down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
From the red zone now, Watson. to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. 126 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Jedrick Wills, former first-round pick, guilty there. And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. From the gun, here's Watson. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here. Chubb will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Chubb again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns go 98 yards and finish it off in the end zone. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect. And this remains a 13-0 game. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it, and when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. To throw is Jackson. And his throw is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with a throw to the safety valve, but it's 4th down. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Browns drive about to get started. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And the Ravens are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from...
And in for the Ravens touchdown.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Well, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Chubb will get the call running left. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 143 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From the 50, it's Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there.
You don't
deserve anything for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy about that play.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Hey, middle. You.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the counter now, it's Dobbins. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Jackson. Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They go play action now. Jackson forced out to his left. He gets it complete to Jackson. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it one play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a... Sometimes you find the defense vulnerable, so they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 31-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Go. Hey. Yeah.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, it looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Middle.
Jackson now. Open man is Duvernay. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Dobbins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will shrink to 6. Walker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the...
He's got a man, complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain of 32 that time.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Alan Lazard as the first half is winding down. And the Browns will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action. Now Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. And the slot man goes in motion left.
Report. Hey, middle.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson, he's going to look deep for more. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him, AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
Hey, report.
And Jackson throwing once more. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 35. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. Fields it right around the goal line. Jackson now to return. And nowhere to go. He only makes it to the 5.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Moore, the man in motion. On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson, he's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So coming up empty here to start the third quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Browns drive about to get started. They begin this drive with Chubb. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
155 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Now a give left side for Chubb. And some room to work. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Here's Chubb to try to run it in. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Out of the end zone comes Smith. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand They've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Well, we're in Baltimore. Third quarter action, 2nd and 10.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Hey, Ozzie, shut up.
Now it's Jackson.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
The Browns drive about to get started.
They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the 3rd quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Chubb.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Watson on 1st down. That's out to Chubb, complete.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Armour-Davis. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. To throw is Watson. And his throw here is incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Chubb on the counter. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give.
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punch coming in, I don't have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 2nd down, here's Chubb again. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And this brings up a 3rd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal.
Pass to Lazard, bringing it in on the crossing route.
A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
York able to send this one through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level. That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, report! 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 Hey, middle!
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Hey, report! Hey!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
Hey!
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete.
And he is going to have a Ravens first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They go play action with Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT.
And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
2nd down and 7.
And again, it's Chubb. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for the Browns, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.